Have you ever just, stopped and thought about how your body knows what to do every single second? It's running this unbelievably complex operation, and you're not even consciously giving the orders? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible internal communication systems that act as your body's command and control.
So let's start with the situation we've all been in, or at least can imagine. You reach out, you accidentally touch a super hot stove. Your hand just yanks back instantly, right? It happens way before your brain even has a chance to think, hey, that's hot, or ouch. So how? How does that happen? What is this lightning-fast process that protects you before you're even aware of the danger?
Well, that incredible, instantaneous reaction is called a reflex. Think of it like your body's built-in first responder. It's this high-speed, automatic protective system that completely bypasses your conscious brain, and it's our first stop on this amazing tour of your body's coordination.
Now, this pathway you see here, this is the blueprint for basically any response your body makes, not just reflexes. It always starts with a stimulus, in our case, the intense heat from the stove. Next, a receptor, like a specialized nerve ending in your skin, detects it. That signal then zips to an integration center, often your spinal cord, which immediately processes the danger signal. It then sends an order out to an effector, which are the muscles in your arm, and the result of all that? The response. Your hand pulls away from the stove, all in a fraction of a second.
But here's the thing. A stimulus isn't just something from the outside world like heat or a loud noise. It can also be a change happening inside your body, like your blood pressure changing or your blood sugar dropping. Your body is constantly, and I mean constantly, monitoring and responding to both of these worlds.
The easiest way to think about it is this. Receptors are your body's sensors. They're like the motion detectors, the smoke alarms, the security cameras, all reporting for duty. Effectors, on the other hand, they're the doers. They are the muscles that actually contract or the glands that release something. So one detects the problem, the other one acts on it. Simple as that.
So what's carrying these super fast messages from the sensors to the doers? I mean, what allows for those incredible speeds? Well, that would be the nervous system. It is literally your body's own high-speed internal electrical grid. This is the system that makes those split-second reflexes possible.
And this electrical grid is really broken down into two major parts. You've got the central nervous system, or CNS. That's the big boss, the command center, your brain, and your spinal cord. And then you've got the peripheral nervous system, or PNS. And that's all the wiring, this vast, vast network of nerves that connects that command center to every single part of your body.
And just how much wiring are we talking about here? Well, this whole grid is made up of these amazing specialized cells called neurons. Get this, your brain alone has somewhere around 100 times billion of them. That is more than 10 times the number of people on the entire planet, all packed inside your head, firing off signals 24/7. It's just mind-boggling.
Okay, so let's zoom in and look at how just one of these tiny wires is built. Each neuron is just a masterpiece of biological engineering. You've got the dendrites, which act like little antennas, catching signals from other neurons. That signal then travels down the long cable, the axon, which is often wrapped in something called a myelin sheath. Think of that as insulation that makes the signal travel way, way faster. And at the very end, the synaptic knob is what passes the message along to the next cell in the chain.
But here is where it gets really, really cool. These neurons, they don't actually touch. There's this tiny microscopic gap between them called a synapse. So, how does an electrical signal jump across empty space? Well, here's the trick. It doesn't. This is where a little bit of magic happens.
Right at the synapse, the message actually changes form for a split second. The electrical pulse arrives and triggers the release of these chemical messengers, which are called neurotransmitters. These little chemicals just float across that tiny gap, they lock onto the next neuron, and boof, they spark a brand new electrical signal on the other side. This chemical bridge is brilliant because it makes sure the signal only flows in one direction. And, by the way, this tiny gap is exactly where many drugs work, from painkillers to antidepressants. They're all designed to influence these very chemicals.
Now, it's really important to know that not all actions using this system are the same. Some are voluntary, like you deciding to pick up a book right now. You are consciously controlling that with the thinking part of your brain, the cerebral cortex. But then you've got your heartbeat, your breathing, and that hot stove reflex. Those are all involuntary. They're totally automatic actions handled by other parts of your brain and spinal cord, just working in the background to keep you alive.
But wait, that electrical grid isn't the only communication network in town. Nope.
The body has a second, completely different system. Let me introduce you to the endocrine system. You can think of it as the body's chemical postal service. It's way slower, for sure, but its messages can have incredibly powerful, long-lasting effects.
See, instead of sending electrical sparks down wires, this system uses chemical messengers called hormones. Specialized glands release these hormones directly into your bloodstream. They then travel all over your body, kind of like letters in the mail, delivering specific instructions to their target cells. And they control huge things like your growth, your metabolism, and even your mood.
So let's put them side by side, because this really shows the difference. The nervous system is like sending an instant message. It's electrical, it's ridiculously fast, but the effect is over in a flash. The endocrine system, on the other hand, is more like sending a registered letter. It's chemical, it travels slowly through the bloodstream, but its effects can stick around for hours or days or even longer. Two totally different but equally important ways of communicating. So we have a super fast electrical system and a slower, more deliberate chemical one. But the real magic, the real power, happens when these two systems work together. And there's no better example of this teamwork than in a situation that could be a matter of life and death.
I want you to picture this. You're walking alone at night, and all of a sudden you hear quick footsteps right behind you. Your body instantly kicks into high alert, right? That feeling is the famous fight or flight response, and it is the absolute ultimate showcase of the nervous and endocrine systems working in perfect, beautiful harmony.
So here's how it all goes down. Your eyes and ears perceive the threat. Instantly, a part of your brain called the hypothalamus sends a high-speed nerve signal, that's the nervous system doing its job, straight down to your adrenal glands. The glands get the message and respond by flooding your bloodstream with the hormone adrenaline, and that's the endocrine system kicking into gear. See the handoff?
And once that adrenaline hits your bloodstream, man, it is like flipping a master switch for your whole body. Your heart starts pounding to pump more blood, your breathing gets faster to take in more oxygen, your body dumps sugar into your blood for a shot of instant energy, your pupils dilate to let in more light. Every single one of these changes is designed to prepare you for one of two things: fight the threat or run away from it as fast as you possibly can.
So it's pretty clear this delicate dance between electrical signals and chemical hormones is absolutely vital for our survival. Which brings up a pretty important question. What happens when this intricate command and control system starts to break down? Well, as you can imagine, the consequences can be really serious.
When the nervous system gets hit, it's like the communication lines are getting cut or frayed. In multiple sclerosis, or MS, the protective insulation on those neurons gets destroyed, which just scrambles all the signals. And in diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, the nerve cells themselves start to die off, leading to a devastating loss of motor control or memory.
And it's a similar story when the endocrine system gets out of balance. The body's regulation just goes haywire. If there's not enough of the hormone insulin, it leads to diabetes. If there's too much or too little growth hormone during childhood, it can cause gigantism or dwarfism. Every single hormone has to be in this perfect Goldilocks zone. Not too much, not too little, but just right.
And really, this quote pretty much says it all, doesn't it? This whole beautiful, ridiculously complex process of detecting what's going on around us and inside us, and then making the right response, at its very core, that is what allows us to survive and navigate this world.
So just for a second, as you're sitting there listening to this, just stop and think. Your heart is beating, you're breathing in and out, your body temperature is being held perfectly steady, and you're processing all of these words. Your nervous system and your endocrine system are performing millions of silent miracles right now. It really makes you wonder, what other incredible things are happening inside of us, right this second, completely under the radar?